characters that scare us, and then there are characters that scar us. It's not just about their looks, their strange cadence, or even the way they move. It's all of these things combined that haunt you and leave a lasting impression on your mind long after the scene has ended. But why exactly do we feel this proverbial spider crawling up our back whenever we see this guy? Why, till this day, a whole 27 years since the episode's airing, are fans still crowning him the ultimate creep lord? Well, it can be simply explained by one thing: our fear of the unknown. Today, I'm gonna break down 3 key things that play on our fear of the unknown, which also give Shuji Sugawa the power to traumatize an entire generation. Before we begin, don't forget to like, subscribe, and consider supporting me on Patreon as well. Thanks so much, and let's go. Let's start with Sugawa's appearance. I mean, look at him.
Jesus Christ!
And this was by design by way of utilizing the uncanny valley phenomenon. The uncanny valley was a concept invented in 1970 by Japanese roboticist Masahiro Mori. He theorized that how much a person was fond of an object was in direct correlation to how human-like the object appeared to be. In simpler terms, the more human something looked, the more we liked it. However, Mori states that this fondness only applies to a certain point. When an object reaches near perfect human likeness, a phenomenon occurs where our liking for it dips dramatically, placing it instead with feelings of dread and unease. Take these photos for example. Most of their features resemble human features, but certain things do not. We're unsure about what we're looking at, and therefore we feel a little uneasy. Our affinity then skyrockets again once true human likeness is achieved. This is what's dubbed the uncanny valley. This sudden dip in our heart, this sudden stomach twisting nervousness. So how does this apply to Sugawa himself? Well, notice how his face is always lit up from the weirdest of angles. This is also what's known as a scary flashlight face, which causes our brains to see Sugawa as slightly less human due to the weird ways shadows fall on his face. Certain theories also suggest that this could be a byproduct of human evolution. We're accustomed to having the sun shine down on us, so it's a little weird to suddenly be looking at someone with lighting shining from below. We also never really know what Sugawa is truly feeling in any given moment. That's because his expression eerily remains the same throughout the entire episode. Is he angry here? Does he feel scared here? He looks terrified here, but why doesn't he act like it? All of this places us directly on the precipice of the uncanny valley. Coupled with them portraying him as a literal monster in other shots, this all just adds up to why exactly we feel so creeped out when we see this librarian from hell. Now, the second piece of the puzzle is the use of dissonance and volume. Along with the fantastic OST of the show, we get very clever uses of musical dissonance. As explained in a video by 12 Tone, music dissonance is the clashing of tones that create harsh and unpleasant sounds. This can be heard all over this episode, and hell, the episode even starts with a randomly placed jump scare sound. 12 Tone goes on to explain that dissonant tones create a sort of tension that, when left unresolved, leaves the audience hanging and anticipating. Another video by Sideways also explains how our primitive instincts can also help facilitate a feeling of terror.
Large things make low sounds, small things make high sounds. Kittens make cute high-pitched sounds, lions have terrifying roars. And all humans are programmed to recognize this phenomenon and associate low sounds with large things and high sounds with small things.
Hell, one of the scenes even demonstrate this. Now close your eyes for a second and tell me that doesn't sound exactly like a lion. Volume was also a tool that was used effectively in this episode. By fluctuating the volume erratically throughout the scene, it creates a very sudden shock to the system, literally. Like, take this scene for example when Sugawa suspects that someone is in the library with him. Loud noises! This very sudden burst of volume just kind of breaks us down a little and really starts getting us terrified. And now the final piece of this horror platter is dramatic irony and setting. Dramatic irony, as explained in the video by Ted Ed, is the narrative tool of revealing to the audience certain pieces of the story while also withholding this same information from the characters. A perfect example of this is in Indiana Jones, where we're shown that Indy's food is poison, but he doesn't know that. And so in the ensuing scene, we're constantly in a state of, oh, don't eat it, oh no, okay, oh no, okay, oh no, that kind of suspenseful feeling. This is done masterfully in this episode of Conan as well. After Sugawa is tipped off that someone may be in the library, we are shown scenes of him creeping on the kids, almost like a predator stalking his prey and waiting for the opportune time to strike. And we can't forget about that setting. I mean, come on, a closed library in the middle of the night? It's practically gift wrapped for a horror story to take place in. I mean, remember when you were kids in school and maybe you had to stay back for extra classes or for clubs and stuff? Do you remember how creepy your school corridors looked at night? Or how stomach twisting it was to even think about going to the toilet? Gosho couldn't have picked a better setting for this story. Winding corridors, dimly lit rooms, the humming of the elevator. This library is as much a source of terror as Sugawa is. This is how Shuji Sugawa continues to haunt the minds of Conan fans. Not through random chance, but with meticulous design, sound cues, narrative choices, and most of all, a knowledge on how to manipulate human fear. This perfect concoction has, for better or for worse, given us the creepiest Conan villain of all time.